Welcome to the Eff the Glitter podcast, the podcast that is centered around highlighting women of color in the world of graphic design, brand design, marketing strategy, and branding strategy. I'm your host, Ashley of A. Louise Creative, and today I have the honor of having Miss Zaakirah Muhammad as a guest with us. Based on everything that I've read, I've seen about her, she's the one to go to for all things creative. She's the one with the answers. She's a cancer survivor, an author, professional photographer, brand cultivation strategist, digital marketer, and the host of the Living Legacy podcast. So she has her own podcast. She knows what she's doing. And I'm honored to have her here on the show because this is just great. So Zaakirah, tell us more about you and your awesomeness. Give us an intro.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the great introduction, and thank you for having me. So yeah, I feel like you said it all. I mean, I guess the other thing is that I feel like I've been so glued to my purpose that my purpose generally is just creating. I was first introduced to a camera at the age of 5, and so of course with that I got to travel a lot. My parents love to travel, so I got to travel a lot. And then, I mean, we moved a lot medically, like just so we can stay close to the best doctors. But at the same time, the silver lining of it all is that I got to see a lot of U.S. cities. And then by the time I got to high school, I got to go to a lot of countries too. So just being able to be worldly in a way, to travel, which is great. It got to help me to enhance my photography skills. And as a photographer, I eventually had to teach myself. I think literally 10 years ago, I had to teach myself how to use Facebook pages because they were just starting to come out.
Yeah.
And so with that, I was, surrounded by, I think my first actual photography client was a music artist. So fresh out of high school, and, all your friends want to become rappers or singers or something, right? So they need a photo shoot at least for their album or promo packaging. So those were my first actual client. But then I realized, okay, I'm learning about Facebook pages, and I'm so excited about Facebook pages. They're like, what is Facebook pages? Why do I need to use it, right? So I'm like, okay, here's the thing. Here's a light bulb went off. Like, okay, I can really teach them how to use Facebook, help them start these pages so they can reach more people than their local audience. So that's really my start. And then I later on began to get certifications. I feel like I'm more self-taught, but at the same time, I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. Life is school, knowledge is power. So I got a few certifications along the way, which then kind of helped me to get almost 2 handfuls of social media clients and nonprofits to help them literally grow their brand and utilize social media. So now, as a result of, I feel like I started to kind of burn out after having so many clients. I'm like, this is fun, this is great, I'm living my purpose, but I'm tired.
Right.
So then I started to just outsource. And so outsource, I realized there's literally a huge gap, pay gap, and quality gap between women and men in the marketing industry. So then it became my goal to really launch Focus Media Group, Focus with the PH, so that I can hire women who enjoy designing and creating, as well as the science, technology, engineering, mathematics, STEM. So that's who I am and where I am right now in life.
Wow. 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 Like I was like, yeah, I'm self-taught and I do a little bit here and there, but you're like, no,
No, you've
I
done
run this
amazing.
thing.
That's what I'm saying. We need to start tooting our own horn because you've done amazing things too. So
Thank you. So when did you know? Well, you said you knew you were kind of tailored to this industry since you got out of high school. Like you've always been a creative, but you kind of smoothed in right after you graduated, huh?
but I think yes and no, because I think what I realized though is we kind of know what we want to do when we're like at ages 7 and 13, right? Because if you think back to it, if you could do something with undivided attention, no one interrupted you, you're in your room, whatever, you're doing it for hours on end. What is it, right? You technically already know your purpose.
Right.
But then I just feel like it kind of tweaked a little bit. Yes, after high school, once I started studying photography a little bit more, once I started meeting new people and telling more people about my story, that I realized that it kind of intertwines with being able to visually and also encourage people to step outside of their comfort zone. And so a lot of times I tend to do that with my photography, whether I'm giving them a studio portrait that they need for their brand, or encouraging them to tell their story when they're tweaking their about me for their website. So it kind of intertwined and kind of got narrowed down by the time I really was diving into work with more people after high school.
After high school. Cool. So this is full time or a side gig? Your creative lifestyle.
So I guess as of right now, as of where we are in current events, that's all I do. So
Right.
currently, yeah, full time, like that's all I do. Because I mean, divide it between everything else that I do, whether it is the podcast or whether it is book marketing, whether it is work with other businesses. Technically, if you add up the hours, even if the money isn't matching, if
Mm-hmm.
add up the hours, it's definitely full
Full
time.
time. Gotcha. Okay. So, what would you say are some of your favorite types of projects that you like to work on, or your favorite types of clients? Like, what makes you excited? Like, yes, I want this.
Well, um I think I've learned that it's the people who they know uh what social media is, right? So at least I can skip that part of, okay, this is what Facebook is, this is what Twitter is, this is how you use it on
Yes.
LinkedIn. Skip
Right.
that, right? But then it's the ones who um they have the handle on social media and they have the handle on their brand, but they'd rather put that energy elsewhere. So when they say you take over creatively, those
Mhm.
are my favorite clients.
Yes.
So if they just kind of trust my vision creatively, and then I can
Hmm.
just let the ball roll with that. So those are my favorite. Most of the time it is women actually, because sometimes no hate, but most men just want to have a grip on something. I'm like, okay,
Yes.
either you're gonna let me be or you're not what you're gonna be. But most of the time they are women, they are minority women who just kind of say, hey, whatever you want to do creatively, I trust you.
Yeah, I feel that. I totally feel that. I totally feel that. So how would you say, or what do you feel about the representation of women of color in our industry? Being that we're
Yeah, I definitely will reiterate that it's a huge gap. It's definitely not equal. It may never be equal because I mean, naturally, women are naturally better at customer service. I feel they are naturally
Mhm.
more empathetic, more nurturing, especially when it comes to being transparent and honest and
Mhm.
flexible. So we have a long way to go in order for us to really get out there in the market, not just the marketing industry, really everywhere, but just
Mhm.
to really get out there and be more, I guess, respected in the
Yeah.
sense of, yeah, we know what we're doing. And naturally, we know what we're doing because some of us are mothers, some of us are aunts and sisters. And so we um, have a better understanding of humanity as a whole. So
Yeah.
we have a long way to go. That's all I would say.
Yeah. I think a big part of that is like a lot we have to pull ourselves back because we're naturally nurturing and we're naturally no, I want you to win, so we give away so much, and then it's like the other side of it be like, nah, you gotta pay for that, and we'd be like, no, but it's okay, you have to learn it, and I want you to learn it. Just naturally we're like that, and you're like, no, you can't, no, I need the coins, like I need that.
Exactly, exactly. So I mean, I'll say that there's some people who are literally more on the signs of it doesn't matter the cost, you don't have to pay me anything. But it's like some of us have to literally, because some of us, that's how some of us get either FOMO, fear of missing out, or imposter syndrome, because then we're like, we know we're good at what we do, but because the bank account is not reflecting or the
Mhm.
clientele is not reflecting, then we kind of feel like maybe I should be collecting coins. I don't know. So
Right.
it's just a hard balance. So
Yeah, it is. So how would you describe your style? Like the pictures that you sent, and I checked out your website, I did my research, and you seem more of like the natural, free flowing kind of, vibe. But like, how would you describe your style? Like put it into words. How would you say?
so that it's kind of a funny and a good question. So I feel like my style is always changing, but
Mhm.
it starts off with who I am as a photographer, because I'm a photographer first, right?
Mhm.
So that style I've narrowed down to be candid.
Okay.
Definitely candid is the first word, because I want to be able to capture the essence of you, right?
Mhm.
So definitely candid. But when it came to, I just literally got my website revamped, and so of course those questions were asked of what vibe, what color energy we want to put on.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, let's see. So my colors are purple and blue, and so those are naturally vibrant. Those are naturally. I want you to feel more comfortable talking to me, working with me.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to feel comfortable stepping outside of your comfort zone. I want you to trust me visually. So I feel like um, candid, authentic, and welcoming.
Okay. So warm. Even though your colors are cool, but they're not cool like It's like, no, it's warm in here. Come into the fire. It's
Literally, it's
okay.
funny you mentioned that because actually my middle name is Naayar, and it's actually Arabic for illuminous or bright. So
Well, there you
yeah.
go. Bam. So, what's been your most enjoyable project to date? Like in your career, the one project that you were like, we nailed that. Like that was it right there. We did that.
You know what? I think um I think it was because I love music. I love music. Any chance I can get, I'm an extroverted introvert. So any chance that I can get, and I'm not doing anything, I have music in my ears. So, anyways,
Okay.
I love music. So at one point, I got to be the founding member of a startup of a independent music consulting agency.
Oh wow.
So many gems and so many aha moments came when we finally decided to work together. One, that was not our first time working together. We both were trying to happen to be in the same like MLM industry. We were both trying to do that at one point. And so that's
Mm-hmm.
how we met. So we were both in like the travel industry. And so I was helping him to start his social media for the travel industry. And then, he started shifting into, because he was already a DJ. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
I need to focus on music. I like travel, but I don't, it's not working right, right? So
Mm-hmm.
then I'm like, well, hey, I love music too. And so we kind of connected, and I was just one of the members to kind of help him bounce off ideas and narrow down the brand messaging and narrow down the clientele for the independent music artist. And that was so much fun also because he's living in DC, right? So I mean, it's funny because we had connected after I left the DC area, but I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like I never left because like how do
You
we
still
still connect,
connected,
right? So that
right?
was a lot of fun. So that was a lot of fun. That was about 2 years. And it was never a dull moment. Like that's the thing. That's probably when I started to get burnt out because I'm getting other
Doing
clients
too
and I'm
much.
still doing this one. So it's fun, but at the same time, it's like if you don't have a handle on it, it can get a bit much because
Yeah.
these are independent artists. They're creatively all over the place, and and then we got our goal was to help them strategize
Mm-hmm.
to get X number of sales and get X number of followers. So it was
Mm-hmm.
fun. At the same time, it was challenging, but it helped me to really kind of learn a lot too when it came to officially, launching Focus Media Group. Maybe I guess 3 years after that term ended. But
Mm-hmm.
that was a lot of fun.
Cool. Cool. That's exciting. I remember when I was in Atlanta, like that's all it was. Everybody was a music artist. Like everybody was a rapper and everybody was this. And they needed somebody to work their Facebook page. They needed somebody to do their Twitter. And I don't have the patience for it. That is not my thing. I tell people straight up, like, I'll set you up. That's it. I can't do nothing else. I can't. So, so do you have any advice for other women who are trying to enter our industry or trying to enter, like creative marketing, graphic design, brand consulting, like trying to help people, tell them what to do without telling them what to do? Like what would be your advice?
So I think first and foremost, you definitely have to be a people person because you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be talking to people all day, every day. So if you're not a people person and you naturally don't like teaching, don't do it. Don't do it.
That's a good one.
And but if you also were not one of those who you can find yourself, if people did not gravitate toward you, like, can you write this for me? Can you design this for me? Can you photograph this for me? If people didn't naturally gravitate to you for that, it may not be the industry for you because again, it's so easy to get burned out if you haven't narrowed down what it is you really want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because especially as life changes, social media is going to change, the style of branding and marketing going to change. So I just feel like if you feel like it may be eventually overwhelming because it does constantly change, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But if everything else just kind of it's like, yes, that's me, then come on in. We got
Right.
room for you. There's no in my mind, there's no such thing of like once you do get to the top that there is no room at the top. I mean, you do have two hands for a reason. Like bring another woman with you,
Right.
but just don't do it just to do it. That's just my opinion.
Right. I agree. Totally agree. So since COVID, or as we like to say, Corona or the Rona, how have things been for you since March?
Yeah, and so I mean, everybody's literally trying to just DIY, and like it's okay because then with the things that they don't know, they come to me for because then I ended up wearing a new hat of almost technical support. Right, I
Mm-hmm.
remember having a, a consultation, and that entire conversation was how to relink your Facebook and Instagram pages. So I've
Yeah.
acquired new skills. I've learned some new things about myself, but I think for the most part, it's kind of the phrase that comes to mind is um, staying ready so you don't have to get ready, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole time, of getting the back end together of the agency is really to get ready for those who um, either think they want to do their social media themselves, but they see how much of a headache it is. And so now they really are ready to just outsource.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been great, and especially with the using this time to educate more. So we're
Mm-hmm.
doing more like master classes and Zoom sessions just to educate more people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely been a good thing. Mainly because I'm more about leaving a bigger impression and impact more
Mm-hmm.
than the point. So that's just me personally. So I want to make sure that you when someone does work with us at Focus Media Group, that they come out more educated and
Mm-hmm.
more confident in their ability to post on social media. So
Right.
it's been great.
Good. That's good. That's good. 'Cause a lot of people, they falling apart out here. And so for those who are like, things been good over here. Like that's really really good. That's good. So for someone who is looking for your particular service, be it social media management or learning social media, or brand cultivation strategy, like somebody who's like, okay, I know my brand is over here, but I'm trying to reach these people. What do I need to do? What advice would you give them for vetting a professional, for looking for someone for your services? What are some things they need to look for?
But definitely make sure that you feel like you can vibe and connect with them. Make sure that they understand or are just as passionate about your brand as you are. Because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's the hard part of you can find someone based off of how good their work is, but if you have that initial conversation
Mm-hmm.
and you have to consistently say, no, that's not what I was saying, or no, that's not what my brand is going to look like, it's going to be a problem later on down the road.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely make sure that you can vibe with the person, make sure that people understand your purpose, your passion, your vision in that first initial conversation and consultation. And so, I mean, we naturally strive to be better listeners and value customer service at Focus Media Group, but at the same time, we know that everyone is not our client. So, like I said, I feel like our clients are the ones who they have the idea of social media, they know what they want, and then we can just help, bring that dream into fruition. So
Gotcha.
it's just a matter of make sure you know for sure what you want. Make sure you know that you need social
Yes.
media services, you know that you need photography services, or you know that you need help with like copy, like the text,
Mhm.
caption, or whatever it is. So make sure you know what you want, know what your budget is, and then everything else should work out after that.
Cool. So copywriting, that's a service you provide with Focus Media Group.
Yeah, it tends to kind of go hand in hand, really, because they could come to us for website, but if we see that their website copy was not converting to anything, like it's just there, people see it, but people quickly leave. Like we kind of end up putting on that hat, really, of like I think we have tips and suggestions for you to improve your copy, especially on
Mm-hmm.
social media. Most people come to us of saying, so I mean, I'm not getting any followers or nothing's really happening. I'm not getting any more likes, but then I would go to their page and I'm like, okay, well, first of all, you're not sending them anywhere. They don't know that you have a website. They don't know that you have
Right.
services. So just kind of we improve or give suggestions on ways that they can improve
Gotcha.
their copy.
Mm-hmm. I asked that specifically because that's not a strong suit over here at A. Louise Creative, so I'm always looking for a connection for copywriting. I can
All
make it
right, well,
look
come on
good,
over.
but writing it, nah, man. We don't have it over here. So, okay, so now we're down to the fun part. So this is
Okay.
random questions. Random questions. It could be personal, business in your answers, whatever. This is just kind of we did the business, so now this is the hey, okay.
Cool.
So, what's your favorite style of food?
My favorite song?
Your favorite style of food?
Oh, stop. Um, Italian and seafood.
Okay. So, like, what would the dish be?
So, I mean, I guess my most favorite, I would love to just have like one of those like um seafood platter with the linguine or fettuccine or something
Oh man,
combined.
that
So that
sounds
would be like heaven.
amazing. So you said that you love music. So your favorite song?
Wait, say it again.
You said that you love music. So your favorite
Oh yeah.
song? Yeah.
Okay. So that's hard to answer then. Because I don't have this one. I don't
Top
have
three.
one. Um,
Top
um,
three that always puts you
okay.
right. Top three.
Okay. Um, nope. That still doesn't work because I'm thinking of five. Okay. Let me do artists. Let me just do artists. Okay.
Okay.
So my favorite artist right now, LMA.
Okay.
I've always loved Usher. I'm glad he's coming back. So I've always loved Usher. Um, I love Sierra. I love that she's taking control of her music. So I love Sierra.
Yes.
We gotta level up. And sure, that's three. Okay. Um, Chris Brown, musically, he's a genius. He's a genius musically. Uh,
Really?
I think though. I really do.
Okay.
I think he's like our generation. Well, I used to say our generation of Michael Jackson before he really started rapping more, because Michael Jackson never rapped. But
Right.
still, creatively, he's a genius.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. LMA, Usher, Sierra, Chris Brown. Honestly, my like woman crush every day is Jennifer Lopez. So no matter what she does, I'm gonna be a fan. So whether that's music, movies, producing, whatever it is. So
Jennifer
Jennifer
Lopez.
Lopez, I love. See, because I was born in Fort Lauderdale, and I have a feeling. Well, my paternal grandpa was from the Virgin Islands, so I feel like I have some Caribbean in me anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
anytime she releases like the Spanish songs or any of the dance songs, I just
You feel
gravitate to
that
it. So
connection.
there you go.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
that's five artists for you.
Okay, there we go. Five. Give me the five. Okay, so of all the places that you traveled, which one was your favorite?
mm, I guess I'm gonna go with South Africa
Mm-hmm.
because I love the fact that I could go up the mountain and then come right back down and put my feet in the water on the beach. So I love
Wow.
that it a two in one because I am a mountain girl and a beach girl, right? So I just said
Okay.
I'm from Fort Lauderdale, but my dad is from Tennessee, so I have country girl, mountain girl roots in me too. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I love best of both worlds. And I also maybe I'm kind of biased, but I also love going to countries where I can talk to people in English. I mean, I have nothing against learning new languages, but I love just being able to flow in English. So
Right.
English is definitely their first language out there. So I enjoy that, and plus everybody's a techie out there too. So when I went
Okay.
in 2016, I went for the inaugural Essence Festival that they had out there in South Africa.
Oh, wow.
They had nothing but South African vendors for between making the app, making the banners. So creatively, I was in heaven. I'm like, oh, this is dope, yo.
Right.
So yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So when you finally get a chance to relax and come down, what is it? What's your ritual? Or what do you like to do? I know you said you always got music in the back, but like
Yeah,
what
the
else?
music is always gonna be there, definitely. um, and if it's not music, I'll probably find a movie, either drama or comedy movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm starting to incorporate a lot more self-care. So say it is a Friday night, I'm just visualizing. I got, let's just give an example, Jill Scott, Eric Badu, Mary J. Blige playing on a certain playlist, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's a book. I have like a book. I love memoirs. I have a book.
Okay.
Maybe I have some essence oils nearby, and it's a bubble bath. So
Okay. Cool. So that actually was one of the questions. Have you been doing any self-care during the quarantine, or have you been like strictly business? Like, I gotta get this going.
yeah, it's a little bit of both. I realize that I am that type that just needs to stay busy.
Mm-hmm.
um, someone once made me busy bee anyway, so I feel like naturally I need to stay busy. But
Mm-hmm.
I've also finally understood the word relax, which means to literally not use your mind, not use your hand, not use your brain or anything. So
Right.
I feel like I'm doing it a bit more.
Okay.
Just um, literally relaxing. It's just play music, not listen to new music, because then my mind's still going trying to
I
dissect
dissect the
the
music.
lyrics. So go old school with the music, or find a movie that just entertaining rather than educating.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, just knowing not to literally do nothing. Yeah.
Okay. So that ends our lightning round, or the randomness.
Okay, let us know.
So we've come to the part of the show where we do our closing remarks, and that features you. Do you have anything coming up? Any business ventures? Where can people find you? Uh, what do they need to do to get in contact with you and spend their coins with you?
Okay, well, I'll just send everyone to the websites and social media, and then just kind of catch me as you can, because I don't even. I mean, I could say what was going on, but it could change. So you can follow me everywhere on social media at Illuminous1. So ILLUMINOUSONE. So that's
Okay.
everywhere on social media. And that's again my middle name, the English version of my middle name, and then the agency is Focused with a PH, so PHOCUSED Media
Mm-hmm.
Group. Typically, it is Focused Media Group everywhere except Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, other than that, the website is Zaakirahnaayar.com, and that's where you can find out about the podcast, the book, and any other like consulting or coaching. And you can even go to see, I have a page where you can literally like work with me, either choose
Mm-hmm.
photography or choose marketing, or just want to stalk me and learn more about me. That's all good.
Cool. So you're a photographer. Do you travel, or are you kind of just like based in one place, and if they're there, then they can get your services?
I think it's a little bit of both. I have had some clients that literally want to send me, for example, back to DC for their conference in DC, so that's all right. But most of the time, I love portraits, so I love to just try to do natural lighting portraits, or if I can, and if it's in their budget, a studio portrait of just
Okay.
wherever I'm based. So
Cool. Well, I thank you so much. Thank you
thank
so
you.
much
It
for
was fun.
joining me. This was fun. We got to talk outside of this, but anyway.
I know, right?
But thank you for coming. I appreciate you being a guest on the show. I appreciate you helping me launch this
Congrats
wonderful
on
thing.
launching.
Thank you. But yeah, it's what we do is it's not shiny and glittery until after it's finished. The work that goes into it, and that's the name of the podcast, Eff the Glitter, because the glitter. Like seriously, there's nothing shiny about it. But like I said, I am so honored that you agreed to be a guest on the show. I thank you for coming by.